We're getting technical and I'm excited about it. We're talking about the difference between the Costa green mirror in prescription versus non-prescription. Stick around. Hello and welcome. I'm Eyeglass Tyler, an optician here for 15 plus years. I've spent my fair share of time in a lab manufacturing prescription lenses, and so this definitely is something that is near and dear to my heart, explaining the differences in expectation from something in prescription versus non-prescription. It is something that is especially important when you're talking about a brand like Costa, who has earned such a good reputation for their amazing lenses, especially when their lenses are so iconic and they have so few colors that people really love the color that they've gotten to know and expect, like the green mirror, for instance. So I want to explain why there is to be expected a difference if you were to get them in prescription versus what they look like in non-prescription. I also have to mention that the nature of mirror coatings and camera lenses is very difficult to accurately 100% portray what to expect out of that lens color. While I have samples here and we'll do some B-roll so you can see it more up close, it might not be entirely perfect, but that is just the nature of what we're working with, so hopefully it gives you a better idea of what to expect. If at the end of this you are compelled to get yourself a pair of green mirrors in prescription or non-prescription, don't forget about SportRx, and definitely don't forget about our CBITR guarantee, because with that, it allows you to shop at SportRx risk-free. All right, let's get into this. Okay, so there are some things to expect. There are going to be differences necessarily between the prescription lenses and the non-prescription lenses. This is actually not unique to Costa. This is something that's just across the board, something that all brands and manufacturers deal with. The same coating on a different lens material will react differently based on how that material absorbs the color or how it mixes with the color. And so that is something that you really should expect even in non-prescription between the different lens materials. So here I have the 580p version, stands for plastic, and then the 580G version, of course, that stands for glass. In prescription, I have the Trivex lens. I wasn't able to get my hands on a polycarbonate version of the prescription green mirror. For what I found, it seems like everyone likes Trivex over polycarbonate, with the green mirror in particular, and I support that decision. Trivex is one of my favorite materials, and in this case, compared to the blue mirror, if you're interested in the blue mirror as well, you can check out that video. There's a breakdown on that where I was able to get the Trivex and the polycarbonate, and it was a little bit interesting, the difference between that. But with Costa, there is another reason other than just lens materials for the variance in lens colors, and it has to do with them changing their main hub where they do their prescription lens work. Their laboratory is in a different place now, and we're all very familiar with this issue that is worldwide, which is issues with manufacturing and issues with supply chain, and so it's affecting everything, including Costa and their lens colors. So I think that has a large part to do with what's going on, but at very least, I'm trying to give you an expectation, give you the ability to have a more realistic expectation of what you're going to get when you get them in prescription. So starting with the non-prescription version, there's actually not a huge variance between the 580p and the 580G. I find that the 580p is a little bit more kind of vibrantly green, but I think they're both pretty typically what you would expect from that green mirror, especially if you're a longtime Costa wearer. Of course, we know that it has the copper backing and then the green mirror on the front. One thing I want to note is that a lot of people like to go for the mirror colors, both the blue mirror and the green mirror, to help obscure their eyes better behind the lens. That is the only way to obscure your eye, is with a mirror coating, because it is creating glare and reflections off of the surface of the lens, which obscures your eye behind the lens, which then necessarily means that the more light there is and the more light that is bouncing off of the lens, the more your eye is going to be obscured. So if you're in a lower light condition, if you're in a shaded area, your eye might be more visible than if you're out in full sun. I haven't been hearing as many complaints, because our primary complaint with the blue mirror is that some of the variants in color are lighter and people's eyes are less obscured behind the lens. I haven't been hearing that much with the green mirror in prescription or non-prescription, but it is just something to be aware of, a little bit of knowledge base for you. When it comes to the Trivex version, I would say it is quite similar. It is a little different in the mirror density slightly. It's maybe a little bit lighter, but I noticed that it is a little bit less vibrantly green as well. I think the most vibrant green color for the mirror that you're going to get is in the 580p plano. In terms of the backside of the lens, again, pretty similar, but again, my primary difference that I'm noticing is a little bit less vibrant, a little bit more kind of a green coming through that backside as opposed to a lot more bronzy on the plano version. I keep saying plano and I forget. Plano means non-prescription if you didn't get that by context, but it's something that I should remember to always remind people of. All right, so pretty darn similar. And the polycarbonate version, from what I have been told, even though I don't have a sample right here of it, is that again, it is pretty similar, but again, a little bit lighter, a little bit less dense in that mirror finish. When it comes to glass, this is where it's pretty interesting. Huge difference between the glass plano and the glass prescription. Really, really big difference, which you could probably have, you could tell when I look behind the camera there. I could tell the difference just sitting on the table. Really big difference here. The green mirror is a lot more, there's a lot more blue-green elements to it. It's not quite as vibrantly green as the non-prescription version. And so definitely something to be aware of. Also, the backside of the lens when you're looking through the lens is quite different. It is a little more grayish, light slightly, but a little more grayish, definitely not quite as coppery, a little more muted is the biggest difference that I've found in that. So those are things to expect out of the prescription version versus the non-prescription version. Hey, if you're liking this content, but maybe you have additional questions and maybe it's prescription related, well, you should reach out to one of our very friendly SportRx opticians because they would love to help you. Also, if you want more information on Costa, unboxings, new releases, we have blogs, we have videos, we'll put links in the description below. Okay, I didn't get too exhaustive here, but hopefully I gave you a better idea as to what to expect when you get your Costa lenses in the green mirror in prescription and how that differs. And then I threw in a little bit of extra information in there for you just to bulking up your knowledge base. Hopefully now you feel more confident in ordering Costa and you know to expect that it's going to be a little bit different. If now you're feeling really interested in getting yourself a pair of Costa green mirrors, stick around for a moment longer. We'll have an easy to click shop now button. And again, if you're ready to order, do not forget about that See Better guarantee. I really think it gives you a ton of peace of mind. And if peace of mind is your thing, us opticians here at SportRx, we're like peak peace of mind because our whole reason for being here is to help you get it right the first time. Again, if I didn't answer all of your questions here, you can either leave questions in the comment section below or you can reach out to our opticians and they can help you in real time. We would love to hear from you, so why not? Thank you for watching. I hope this is exactly what you were looking for. If so, throw us a like because that really helps us out. You can find relevant videos over here. If you are ready to shop any of these great styles, which why would you not be? Check this button out right here. It'll take you right to them. If you're looking for more content to consume like we all are these days, check us out on the social media outlets, all of them. You can find us on our handle at SportRx.